ITP 263, Task 6, Assignment 3, Rehabilitation.
Hello, James. Thanks for coming in to Voc Rehab. Really glad to see you today. This is our third time meeting, and we've got some tasks in front of us to take care of so that we can help you in your goal of getting back to work. Tell me how have things been going for you the last couple of weeks. You've been checking the newspaper and seeing if there were any jobs that you were interested in. Did you come up with any ideas for jobs that you'd be interested in?
I've been searching and maybe calling, and just, kind of interested in seeing a few things.
So are you thinking that you're going to be working again, or are you happy being a retired person?
Retiring and work is, as the years go by, I'm just not really being excited by things. So 2 years ago, it was almost a month or two sitting and I don't know.
So now are you able to get around like you used to before? Are you able to drive and live life the way you used to?
Yeah, I can drive just a little bit. I drive.
So many of the clients that I see have had some kind of a surgery or have had something wrong with their back, and they're interested in getting into some kind of work that's not going to hurt them. So what we could do, if you were interested, we could take a look at what jobs would still be open to you, even though you've had this problem with your neck. Would you be interested in looking and seeing, along with me, looking for what kind of jobs might be out there that you could do, maybe for 4 hours a day or 2 hours a day? Would you be interested in that?
I don't know. I've been working maybe not that many hours. Yeah, my neck hurts, and if I'm sitting down for too long, or I like to work and then maybe sit for a little, and it's the standing and the sitting and the standing and the sitting that's hard. It's just hard on my neck, and I want to find the time for work. So maybe looking for like a small 4 to 5 hours.
Tell me what kind of work you have done in the past. You said you've been an upholsterer?
Yeah, I did something a little different. A long time ago, I worked tirelessly, doing hard work with my hands. I had a 2-year-old son, and he was struggling to write. So ECG. Each fingers.
Tell me, did you have surgery on your hands?
No, my surgery was on my neck a long time ago. It's in the back here. It was in my spinal column. So right here, all the nerves and the veins had become constricted. And there was one nerve that was even pinched. Some of them have become innervated, and that was causing a lot of hardship in my left. Within 4 months, it's better. And that time for my neck.
When you said that sometimes you do some work now around the house, what kinds of things are you doing? And what kinds of things are too hard for you to do? Do you do the laundry, for example?
No, none of that. That's hard work. None of that hard work. Maybe after a while.
Well, I'm imagining that the only kind of work that you would be able to do would need to be something where you could sit or stand or rest whenever you decided that you wanted to. And maybe a total amount of work of 4 hours a day.
Yeah, maybe less than 4 hours. If I keep staying, I'm okay, but yeah, I don't really want to walk far, and my knees are weak. And, again, the sitting and the standing a lot is a lot. If I could stay in one position, that would be best.
James, what you told me about your work history was that you worked for 30 years as an upholsterer. That's a long time. Wow. Do you miss working, or are you happy to be retired?
No, I want to work again. I miss it. I miss being around the people. And sometimes, I'll go shopping, and I just want to have a little more
When you
change.
try to work, do you try to do some upholstery jobs?
No, not every day. Sometimes a little here and there. And if it's hot outside, I'll take a break and rest.
Have you ever taught another person how to do upholstery?
Well, I had 2 students once. They did more of the furniture building, more of the woodwork. I worked with them for maybe about 2 years, but
I'm
nothing came
wondering
of
if
it.
we could find a job for you as a teacher's aide in an upholstery school. And you would be the person that could help the students when they're running into some trouble and they need some tutoring help. There's a school in this town that has a number of deaf students who are learning upholstery. And I'm thinking that you could be a very good assistant to the teacher. And those jobs are about 4 to 6 hours at a time. I think you have very beautiful language, and that
Too sure about
the
the
deaf
language.
students who are taking those classes would love to communicate with you in their first language of ASL.
Okay. Yeah, that
Well,
sounds
we'll
good.
have to look into it. I'm going to see about having one of the people that I work with make some phone calls, and I want you to make some TTY calls to all of the different campuses around this area and ask them if they have any openings for teachers' aides. You can let them know that you're working with DVR and that if you need to have an interpreter for any training time, the DVR will pay for that, unless the school can afford to do it themselves. So that'll be our next step, and let's get back together in about 3 weeks. And in the meantime, you think about what it would feel like if you were working, let's say, 4 hours, 3 days a week, as a teacher's aide in a community college. And you just try to imagine how that would be for you.
Yeah, I don't have a TTY. That technology is
Oh,
it frustrates me.
well, I can send you to the Eastern Washington Center for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, and they can get you hooked up with a TTY. And we can also have you work with the community.
No, I don't. I don't think I want to do that. That's not really.
I have the feeling that some teacher a long, long time ago made you feel bad about your English. I think you are a very good communicator. I think you're a very successful communicator, James. And I've understood everything that you've said to me. And communication is not just the English language. And it's a struggle for anybody to talk in a language that's not their first language. So don't worry about that. If a TTY can help you and I to set up an appointment, then it's a good tool for us to use with each other. And I promise I will never criticize your English. So we'll work on those 2 tasks. The first task we'll work on is getting a TTY set up in your home and you taking some risk to feel a little more comfortable using that TTY with the darned English that it forces you to use. And I promise not to criticize you. And we'll make an appointment for our next time. And the second thing is, people in this office of DVR will make some phone calls and try to find out about some job openings for teachers' aides that have to do with upholstery and sewing. And you give some thought to how that'll work in your life, okay? And the next time we meet, it will be on the TTY, and we'll make an appointment with each other to get together, okay?
I'm going to start super slow, not trying to find all the buttons.
Would you like to communicate using a letter? Writing a letter back and forth? Would you prefer that?
It's still the same. It's
But
still
for me to
English.
tell you when I hear about a job, or for the boss to call you and offer you a job interview, how will that communication happen at your home, James? How will we let you know? I don't think the boss is going to show up at your front door. Okay, we'll talk about that again next time, okay? Thank you for coming in, James, and I look forward to seeing you again.